Hey guys, it's Kaylee and Joe, and today we are going to be doing some more freezer cooking. If you guys are new to the channel, we do a lot of batch cooking to fill up our freezer. It's just the two of us here, but we do like to prep meals ahead of time. That way when busy nights come, we don't have to worry about needing to eat out or cook up a big meal if we're not feeling it. We can just pull something from our freezer that's already prepared. And most of the time we try to use as fresh ingredients as possible and make as much from scratch as possible. So lately we've used up pretty much all of our freezer meals that we normally have in our small chest freezer. And we are going to be working over the next several weeks to fill that back up because it's nice to have some on hand for when you need it. I have got 3 recipes here that I have printed out from various websites that I'm excited to use. One of them is going to be jambalaya, which you can cook in the crock pot. And Instapot or crock pot, we use it in the crock pot, coconut tandoori inspired chicken. And then tonight we'll also be making this for dinner and then freezing any leftovers to use for future use. Mexican shredded beef for tacos, burrito bowls, whatever you want to use it for. So I got all this printed out and we're gonna get started. Kind of a bonus that we're throwing in, but we have just recently started trying to figure out how to do sourdough. And so we have a bunch of sourdough starter that we've made, and I am going to attempt to make our first ever sourdough bread, and we'll see how it goes. Not big on baking, not very good at it. It takes a lot of time and a lot of like direct measurements. And I'm the kind of person that likes to just kind of guess and throw stuff together. But we'll see how it goes. This is the first attempt. If it doesn't turn out good, it's fine. We will learn from our mistakes and go from there. I've got a bunch of sourdough starter. I have like 3 mason jars of this. And I think I have a little over a cup in this jar, and I just want to use it up. So this recipe I had to convert from grams to cups. I do have a kitchen scale, but I didn't feel like doing all that, so I just went online and did the conversion. I am very new to this and a starter, so we'll just see how it goes, and if it doesn't work out, I have more starter we could try again. But each recipe that I'm following calls for about a third of a cup of starter. Like I said, I have a little over a cup, so I'm basically going to 3 times this recipe, and I'm gonna split the entire amount into 2 bowls here so that we can work with all of that. So I am gonna go ahead and get started. Says the dough is supposed to be dry and shaggy, and it definitely is, so I'm hoping that we did it right. And we are going to cover these up with plastic or a damp towel and let them sit for about an hour, and I'm going to continue the rest of my morning.
Yeah.
Double, double toil and trouble.
Portioning them up.
Yeah.
So when it's time to cook this, we're gonna end up cooking it in the crock pot. This recipe calls for shrimp. We're gonna add the shrimp separately from the freezer meal itself, and we're just gonna add it in to the crock pot when we put everything together.
No.
Since this recipe calls for the shrimp to be added at the end,
And shrimp doesn't take that long to cook,
and shrimp doesn't take that long to cook,
we're gonna omit it out of these bags.
we are going to omit it out of these bags. We're not going to put it in these bags. When it comes time to cook it, at the end of the cook time, we'll add the shrimp.
Jambalaya. What's today's date?
Today is the 5th of the month 8.
8/5/23. Crock pot. I think it was 6 hours. Low. Add shrimp. At end. So we're gonna put all of these in the freezer and we're gonna flatten them out when we lay them out. That way they freeze in kind of a, I guess, the most storage efficient way, and then we'll store them from there. On to the coconut tandoori inspired chicken. This one's one of my favorites. So this next one's pretty easy. You quite literally just add all of the ingredients into the bag, and it's somewhat like pretty healthy. I think it might actually be like Whole Foods inspired possibly. So this recipe calls for chicken thighs, but we are going to use chicken breasts just because we prefer it that way. So we are going to divide this up between several meals, and we are going to just add everything individually to the bag because it's just chicken breasts. I don't even have to cut them up because it ends up shredding after you cook it in the crock pot. And then some spices, some honey, and then coconut milk. So I got 3 packs of chicken breasts. I'm just gonna add each like pack to a bag and then kind of estimate the ingredients by eye and just add all this stuff.
The last recipe is what we're gonna have for dinner tonight, so we're gonna leave for a little bit and make it later.
I need a little bowl for the spice mix. You wanna get it? They're supposed to be diced, but I'm gonna slice them. Anyways, so that's it for batch cooking today. We got those 3 recipes done and we have a lot to show for it. I think honestly, all in all, it didn't take hardly any time to throw those first 2 recipes together. And then the last one we were gonna have anyways for dinner. And I think we will use these recipes again. We are a newer channel, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you know every time we post these batch cooking videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.